So what is Lomachenko's legacy? 396-1 in the amateurs. Uh, what is he in the pros? 18-3. Let me check my palm. Let me check my phone. Yeah, 18-3. 18-3 in the pros. What is his legacy? To me, Loma's legacy is the fact that he came out the gate fighting for world titles. His second fight, he got a world title opportunity, was able to go 12 rounds competitively with Orlando Salido. And he lost because of a lack of experience and a lack of belief. But it's still extremely impressive. However, he was given that opportunity because, of course, he had a complexion for the connection, but also he put in so much work in the amateurs, and I think he won 2 gold medals, if I'm not mistaken. So he had the red carpet. Winning 1 gold medal gets you the red carpet, but winning 2 gold medals, you can get a title shot your first fight. And that's what Loma did. All that on top of him being with Bob. We know Bob is connected. And then, of course, Loma having the complexion for the connection with the skill and the will and all of that. But he lost to Orlando Salido. And I think that made him a stronger and better fighter. Loma said coming into the pros, he was afraid of getting hit with those little gloves. I think that fight, that loss to Salido, made him say, you know what, F it. I'm Lomachenko. I know what I could do. And it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm not about to be out here losing to people that I'm better than. Now, he goes on to do something. And this is really, really, truly his legacy to me. After this, he gets another title opportunity after losing. Bud Crawford recently criticized Ryan about that. He said, you lost and got a title opportunity because they want to market you, bum. They want to make money off of you. But that's how it goes for some fighters, man. If you connected, you connected. So you could lose and get another opportunity, another opportunity, another opportunity because you in. So Loma is definitely in. But Loma, unlike Ryan, he has a lot of skills to back up his backup. What do I mean by that? Some guys are getting pushed by promoters that they're this and they're that. Loma was being pushed by the promoters, but he actually was this and that. So this is truly his legacy to me. After losing to Orlando Salido, he gets another chance at a title against Gary Russell Jr. This is a man that nobody would touch back then, and nobody will touch right now. Right now, Gary Russell Jr. could give somebody work at 135 or 140. Whoever. I'm not saying he wins, but he can give him some work. But no one is going to give him that opportunity. Gary Russell Jr. been calling out Lamont Roach for years, couldn't get the fight. Was calling out Tank for years, could not get the fight. You know why? Because he can throw 1,000,000 punches a minute. So if he's hitting you with all these punches upside your head, they're not knocking you out, but they're landing. Next thing you know, 12 rounds go by, you just got outpointed. You know who used to beat people like that? Meldrick Taylor. Meldrick Taylor would dominate fighters who were more skilled than him overall just because he had those fast hands. And at the end of the day, the game is about buckets, right? Like Uncle Drew said, the game's about buckets. The game of boxing is about buckets, hitting somebody, putting your glove on someone's face or on their body. And Gary Russell Jr., he was born with such quick hands that he could literally outspeed somebody and beat him, even if that person has more overall talent, skill, and ability. As they say, speed kills. You know, so Loma's legacy is the fact that he fought Gary Russell Jr., his 3rd fight as a professional, a man that nobody would fight. Then he beat him. And it was a good fight. He didn't dominate him, but he beat him. And that's the fight that prepped him to go on and dominate everybody. He had Nicholas Walters quitting. He made somebody else, he made like 3 people, Rigondeaux quit. He made somebody else quit. So he said he's going to change his name to Lomachenko. But the fact that he made top-level fighters quit, as well as the fact that he fought a man that nobody wanted to fight, that shows you the pedigree and the overall skill that he had, because skills pay the bills. Loma had skills that could go all the way across the world. What do I mean by that? I mean, you could go in different countries, find the best fighters, and Loma's skill would still be superior to theirs. So why isn't Loma 21-0, right? Number one, he should have went pro earlier. He didn't need 400 amateur fights. He could have did 200 after the first gold medal and went pro. And instead of rushing to a 12-round fight, he could have got real experience, took his time, and had some of his best years. A lot of Loma's biggest fights that the legacy determining fights against Devin Haney, against what's the old boy named Tio. A lot of those fights, Devin Haney and Tio, he's older. In the Haney fight, I think Loma was 35. That's why he didn't have nothing to give in the last 2 rounds. He's older and he's fighting young bucks. Imagine if he was 25. I don't have Devin beating a 25-year-old Loma if they fought, because he would have been able to go. He would have been able to put his foot on the gas. If you go watch Terrence Crawford fight Ricky Burns, Terrence Crawford had his foot on the gas, no brakes all night. If you watch Terrence Crawford fight Madrimov or Canelo or even Arrow, he put his foot on the gas, took his foot off the gas. Foot on the gas, foot off the gas. It's called the aging process. You have to start boxing in spurts. So Loma had to box in spurts in some of the biggest fights in his career because he was already old. He should have went pro early, in my opinion. He probably would have been more successful. He also shouldn't have rushed to those 12-round fights. You know, it's good to take your time. Throughout history, Floyd, he didn't start out fighting the best. Ali didn't start out fighting the best. It's a process. You got to get it, like Tank said, you got to get it like this. Step by step. That's what Tank told Frank Martin. But to me, Loma's legacy is the fact that he made the greats quit because he had an overall skill set that's one of the best we've ever seen. Whenever you put him in front of a man that was bigger than him, though, and could fight, his style was not good against big men. You know why? Loma does a lot of in and out jumping and a lot of waiting. He wants the perfect punch, the perfect counter. When you're fighting against somebody who's bigger than you, you don't want to do too much moving around unless you're young and when your cash is clear, you could just make a miss all day. You can go 15 rounds. That wasn't Loma. He was in his mid-30s. And secondly, you got to earn the respect of a larger man. So you got to sit there and you got to trade. And a lot of times you don't want to bounce. You want to start walking them down. You want to show them that you're there to fight. And that's going to get their respect. And then you can go back to boxing. So Loma's style is not really suitable to beat up on bigger guys once he went up to lightweight. But at 130, yeah, couldn't nobody really mess with him, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think. What is Lomachenko's legacy to you? To me, it's the fact that he fought a man that nobody wanted to fight. And he made some of the highest level boxers, skill-wise, quit on the stool. You know, he did it multiple times, making guys quit due to his high level technical ability in the ring. Loma is one of the most skilled pugilists to ever do it. That's his legacy. It's weird because it's like you can't even rank him with Floyd and none of them people because he only has 20-something fights. But skill-wise, you know, eye test, yeah, he's one of the best to ever do it. Got a myriad of moves. And he actually will go out there and fight against the best in the world, win, lose, or draw. Some guys got a lot of talent, but they're not willing to go out there and make them fights happen. But y'all let me know what y'all think.